whistle, and it looked like WNBA fans is pissed off over A'ja Wilson and her special whistle.
It looks like the entire WNBA fan base has finally had enough. And this time, the outrage is aimed straight at A'ja Wilson and what people are now calling her special whistle. Because after she hit a dramatic walk-off shot that sent the crowd into a frenzy, fans weren't celebrating, they were furious. Furious because they believe the refs practically handed her the win on a silver platter. 12 free throws, 0 fouls, and an invisible bubble of protection around her all night. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is getting slammed to the floor game after game and can't even buy a whistle. And people are asking the question nobody in the league wants to hear, is A'ja Wilson really dominating because she's just that good? Or is she dominating because she's that protected? And the evidence piling up right now has fans convinced this isn't just one bad game, it's a pattern. A pattern that's turning the WNBA into a league where outcomes feel scripted, frustration is boiling over, and the credibility of every Aces win is being questioned.
Give the ball to A'ja and get out of the way. That's all the play was.
Yeah, I feel like in that moment, if a coach has to tell me what to do, I'm not doing my job. And she just drew up a play. It wasn't really even a play.
Let's rewind to where this firestorm really began, because it didn't just appear overnight. It exploded after one game that should have been remembered for A'ja Wilson's heroics, but instead became a turning point in the league's credibility crisis. The Las Vegas Aces were in a nail-biter against Phoenix, a game that came down to the final seconds. Wilson rose up, nailed the game winner, and the highlight rolled on repeat across every sports show. But under the roar of the crowd and the flashy replays, fans noticed something much more disturbing. The officiating looked blatantly one-sided. Wilson walked away with 12 free throws and 0 fouls, while Phoenix's star Satu Sabally was hacked like a tree and barely touched the line. She even left the court injured, and her coach admitted she never made it back to the locker room. That's not just bad luck, that's the kind of imbalance that raises serious questions. And it's not a one-off either. Fever fans have been screaming about this same thing since last season. Close game after close game seems to end the same way: Wilson at the free throw line, untouched and unstoppable, while the other team's best players are buried under foul trouble. Even casual viewers, the ones who showed up to the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, are looking around confused, asking why A'ja always seems to get that soft whistle. Because when a superstar rarely faces foul trouble, never sees calls overturned, and plays aggressive defense while everyone else gets called for breathing on her, that's not just dominance, that's privilege dressed up as greatness.
Pretty much what you saw, and I'm appreciative that Becky trusts me in those moments. But that's playoff basketball moments. Those are the moments that you live for. So I'm glad I was able to show up. I get on my guards for not coming to work, so I'm glad I was able to come to work.
And fans aren't imagining this. Social media has receipts, endless clips showing missed moving screens, phantom fouls called on defenders, and illegal plays that somehow get ignored whenever A'ja is involved. One viral clip shows her setting a blatantly moving screen, the kind announcers immediately call out as a foul, yet the whistle goes against the defender instead. Another shows a defender boxing out for a rebound. A'ja crashes into her, and instead of an offensive foul, the refs call a jump ball. But flip the situation, let Caitlin Clark or Aaliyah Boston breathe near someone, and it's an instant whistle. The double standard is impossible to ignore. Fans have even started calling it the A'ja whistle, a sarcastic nickname for the invisible force field she seems to have around her. And it's not just about a few lucky breaks, it's shaping entire games. Wilson rarely racks up fouls, rarely sees questionable calls go against her, and consistently lives at the free throw line. That's why so many people feel like this isn't basketball anymore, it's officiating theater. One fan put it perfectly online: give A'ja the ball and get out of the way, the refs will handle the rest. It's harsh, but the numbers back it up. Wilson leads the league with more than 8 free throw attempts per game, more than double Caitlin Clark's average, and she's already sunk nearly 300 free throws this season while barely touching foul trouble herself. It's gone beyond star treatment into something that looks a lot like special protection, and that's why fans everywhere are furious. They're not angry that A'ja is talented, everyone knows she is. They're angry that the league seems determined to keep her untouchable.
Something we have to talk about is the amount of free throws A'ja Wilson is getting off. Not only just the amount of free throws she's getting off, the free throws and the calls that is pretty much garnering her the type of performances like this. She never gets in foul trouble. She gets all her calls. At this point, bro, this is unprecedented. I feel as if Caitlin Clark needs this damn whistle. Everybody should be pitching a bitch about A'ja Wilson whistle because the WNBA was so far in the sunken damn place, no one paid attention to the sport. No one ever watched the first 2 damn championships.
The outrage didn't stay courtside, it detonated online. After that game winner in Phoenix, the official WNBA account posted what should have been a simple highlight reel, praising A'ja's clutch performance. But instead of applause, the comments section turned into a courtroom. Thousands flooded in, and while some celebrated the shot, just as many blasted the officiating. "Of course she hit it," one fan wrote. "The refs carried her all night." And that sentiment wasn't coming from a small, salty corner of Fever Twitter. Even neutral fans and a few Aces supporters started chiming in, saying the same thing. This is getting weird. Some even compared it to Deflategate, Tom Brady's infamous football scandal, because that's how blatant the bias looks now. People began posting side-by-side clips, Caitlin Clark getting knocked to the floor with no whistle, followed by A'ja brushing past a defender and instantly heading to the free throw line. And it wasn't just fans, players started speaking out too, though carefully. One anonymous player told a reporter, "Some people in this league get protected like they're made of gold," and everyone knew exactly who she meant. The memes followed fast. Referee Wilson, the Whistle Queen, Vegas scripted, and they spread like wildfire. It got so bad that when A'ja tried to post her usual blessed and thankful caption after the game, the replies were brutal. Fans mocked the win as 12-2 inches favor of the refs and joked that the officials deserved the MVP. Even major sports pages began asking out loud whether the league was protecting her. That's when the conversation officially left the fan bubble and went mainstream. It wasn't just a debate anymore, it was an accusation that the integrity of the league itself was on the line.
Mainstream media, and now people is paying attention. Not only is we paying attention, we're noticing a pattern, and the pattern is A'ja Wilson get this damn special whistle. Like, this should be looked into, bro.
Let's strip away the opinions and look at the numbers, because they paint a pretty shocking picture. A'ja Wilson leads the WNBA with about 8.3 free throw attempts per game, more than double Caitlin Clark's average, and Clark is getting hammered every night with barely a whistle. Wilson has already made over 290 free throws this season while almost never facing foul trouble herself. That's not normal, that's dominance wrapped in protection. And it's not new either. The same pattern showed up last year. Wilson living at the line, rarely whistled, while other stars like Boston and Clark pile up fouls or get ignored. Game after game, the story repeats. Wilson gets 8 to 12 free throws. Clark gets 2 and 10 hard hits. When outcomes become that predictable, fans stop seeing competition and start seeing favoritism. And that's exactly what's fueling this outrage. Nowhere is the imbalance more obvious than when you put A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark side by side. Clark is in her second season now, no longer the rookie target she was last year, yet she still can't get a whistle to save her life. She gets shoved to the floor, elbowed, and even pushed out of bounds, and the refs stay silent. Meanwhile, Wilson gets tapped on the wrist and sprints to the free throw line like it's automatic. Fans say it feels like Clark is playing 5-on-8 every night, battling opponents and referees at the same time. And the contrast is brutal. Wilson rarely faces foul trouble and racks up free throws with ease, while Clark takes hit after hit and barely gets to the line. That's not just star treatment, that's a double standard so obvious it's turning every close Aces win into a conversation about fairness instead of basketball. So why might this be happening? Many fans believe it's not just bad officiating, it's business. The Las Vegas Aces are the WNBA's most marketable team, stacked with stars, backed by casinos, and built as the league's dynasty. They sell tickets, draw ratings, and keep sponsors happy. And when your biggest moneymaker depends on one superstar, you protect her. It's the same playbook every major league has used. The NBA did it with its stars, the NFL does it with quarterbacks, and now it looks like the WNBA is doing it with Wilson. But the problem is how obvious it's become. You can't grow a fan base if results feel scripted, and right now, too many fans believe outcomes are influenced before the ball is even tipped. They want real competition, not manufactured dynasties. And until that changes, every soft whistle Wilson gets will fuel more backlash and more doubt about the league's integrity. All of this is starting to take a toll on A'ja Wilson's image. She was once the undisputed face of the WNBA, respected, dominant, and beloved. But now, every highlight she creates comes with an asterisk in the minds of many fans. The conversation isn't about her skills anymore, it's about the whistles that seem to follow her. In post-game interviews, she tries to brush it off with lines like, "I just play my game," or "I don't control the refs," but that doesn't change the growing perception that her success is being helped along. And perception matters, because when people start questioning how you win, your legacy loses weight. Wilson hasn't changed her game, but the narrative around her has shifted. Instead of celebrating her greatness, more and more fans are questioning if they're watching dominance or favoritism dressed up as greatness. What's most surprising is how this controversy has flipped the spotlight. Instead of breaking Caitlin Clark, it's turning her into a symbol of fairness and resilience. Every missed call she plays through, every hard foul she shrugs off, builds her reputation as the player doing it the hard way. No favors, no protection, just pure basketball. Fever fans have embraced that identity, turning every bad whistle into motivation to rally behind her. And the louder the criticism of A'ja's special treatment gets, the more support Clark gains from across the league. It's a dramatic shift. A'ja, once the league's golden face, is now tied to talk of favoritism, while Caitlin is becoming the face of integrity. The tide online is clear. Fans want to see the player fighting through unfair odds win, not the one they believe has the refs on her side. And that shift could change everything about how the WNBA is viewed moving forward. At the end of the day, this isn't about hating A'ja Wilson, it's about demanding fairness. Nobody denies her talent, her skill, or her impact on the league. But when game after game ends with the same suspicious patterns, soft whistles for one star, silence for another, fans are right to question the integrity of the sport they love. The WNBA has more eyes on it than ever before, thanks largely to Caitlin Clark's arrival. And that means favoritism can't hide anymore. If the league wants to grow, it has to prove that wins are earned, not handed out by the officials. Because right now, every time A'ja steps to the line untouched while Clark is picking herself off the floor, people wonder if they're watching competition or theater. And if that doubt keeps growing, it could cost the league its most valuable thing, credibility. So now the question is simple. Is A'ja Wilson truly unstoppable, or is the whistle doing part of the work for her?